So how do you continue this story without repetition? And how do you write it so that someone who picks up book 3 will understand what's going on, even if they didn't read book 1 and 2? So what I'm going to read today is a little part. The book takes place primarily in Puerto Rico, but this little part takes place in Yoruba land, and it takes place about 10 or 15 years before the action of this book. Okay. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I switched excerpts. So this is a story of Paula, and this is a story of when Paula arrives at a plantation after she had been caught and beaten to a pulp. She wakes up in this new place and doesn't know what's going on. The woman who's taking care of her is a curandera, someone who heals with herbs. And so the two people involved here are Paula and the curandera, whose name is Rufina. They done a lot of harm down there. Rufina wipes her eyes with a corner of the apron. Don't know how many of them or for how long, but I imagine you've been through a particular kind of hell. Hijo de su puta madre. She spit out the last words. Silence. Paula doesn't want those pictures in her head again. Most times, we can't change what's done to us, but we can fight. I know you know a little something about that, the not giving up part. I know you're a fighter, 'cause you're still here. Mija, I mend your body, but the soul, that takes more time, and it's up to you. Still, Paula doesn't want to move. Until this very moment, she has forgotten herself, thoughts of the future, and now here. She has forbidden herself thoughts of the future, and now here, this woman is opening a whole new world of wounds that Paula has never really considered. Her thoughts drift to the visions of a life in which there will never be the sound of her own child laughing, or small arms reaching out to her, or the word mama called in the night. She realizes that she has been so focused on the losses of the past that she really hasn't braced herself for those of the future. How could she? They took her body long ago. They took her babies. She realizes now that somewhere, hidden deep inside, in some impenetrable place, she sheltered the hope that somehow, maybe, someday, maybe, but no more. They took that too. She did not even get to make the acquaintance of that possibility before it too was taken away. Paula wants the darkness to swallow her again, the blessed not knowing. This is what she wants. But the darkness doesn't come at her bidding. She sits and faces the reality of the emptiness that will forever inhabit her womb. Rufina looks down at Paula, whose body has gone limp, as though every muscle has lost definition, and all that is left is a poor substitute for the woman who blindly defended herself against Simón. All the fight has emptied out of her. La curandera has seen this before. Bodies she has mended, walking around empty and soulless. Too often the emptiness won and the body just withered away. But this woman has too much life left for that, and Rufina has worked too hard to save her. No matter how dark the night, the sun always comes from behind the clouds on the other side of midnight. But Rufina's words sound hollow even to her own ears. La curandera can see her patient slipping away from her, the pain of the beating, but the pain of survival. Even as she watches Paula's spirit wilting, Rufina refuses to give up on the woman with the teeth that cut and the looks that wound. She has gotten a glimpse of the fighting spirit of Pola, and she must conjure it back. What? After all you've been through, you're going to give up? You're going to let those white bastards win? Pola sits very still. She isn't reacting, but at least she isn't retreating either. Those animales, those barbaros, you going to give up your life to them just like that after all these years? You're worth so little that you won't even put up a fight for your own life? Very slowly, Pola raises her gaze and Rufina jumps at the chance. Or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they already took everything and have left nothing for you to fight for. Guess I not read you good at all. Thought you were still worth a little something, but maybe you already dead and you don't even know it. The tiny muscles on the outer corner of Pola's eyes twitch and her panting begins, nostrils flaring at the effort to control her breathing. Her body hasn't moved as much as inflated with growing outrage. Rufina catches a transition from despondency to defiance to anger to rage. Well then, she grabs Pola's shoulders. Then you got some fight left in you after all. You need me right now. It'll be a while before you do battle on your own. I help you all I can, and there's others here who will help too, but this is your fight, and you have to win it. To do that, you have to get well. You got a name?